our today's topic is the biogeographical evidences. This one is the fourth evidence. We have seen the three evidences, that is morphological, anatomical evidences, then embryological evidences and paleontological evidences of the theories of evolution. Next one is fourth one, that is biogeographical evidence. This biogeographical evidence tells about the geographical conditions, okay, the distribution of the different species, different organism, okay, is a different into the different geographical areas. So first one, the example from the biogeographical evidence is the Darwins finches, okay. Simply these finches are, now what are the finches? These finches means these are small sized black birds, okay. These are small sized black birds. These small sized black birds were found in the Galapagos Islands, okay. Important point, that is name of Iceland is Galapagos Islands, okay. Darwin starts his journey, okay, to study the different organisms in different geographical areas. So during this time Darwin found these finches, that is small sized black birds, okay, which are found into the Galapagos Island, okay. Now another one important point is that the name of the sheep, okay. Many times in the exam the question is there is a question on the ship of the Darwin, okay. So the name of ship is HMS Beagle, through which Darwin travels, okay. So these Galapagos Islands are basically made up of the 22 small islands, okay. There are different 22 small islands which is collectively called as a Galapagos Islands. Now where this Galapagos Island is located? It is located on the west coast of the South America, okay. It is present into the South America on the west coast. Now, so Darwin found that there are 20 variety of these finches or these small sized black birds. There are 20 different varieties which are present on the Galapagos Island. There is a difference, or these 20 variety differed in only the two characteristics, okay. The 20 varieties differed in only two characteristics, that is the size of the birds and the beak shape, and the beak shape due to the different food habit, because this 20 variety shows a different food habitat, and due to that food habitat the shape of the beak is different in 20 different finches or that birds, okay. At the same time the Dr. David Lack proposed that these 20 variety, that is finches, Darwin's finches or small sized blackbirds, these 20 variety may evolve from the one single variety which is grain eating bird. So this evidence, that is Darwin's finches, tells about the evolution. From a single organism there is a evolution of 20 different varieties of the birds. So this is an example of divergent evolution. Darwin's finches is an example of divergent evolution. Divergent evolution means, simply suppose this is a one organism and this organism according to the food, okay, according to the geographical conditions, environmental conditions, the organism gets changes, okay, the character gets changes and forms a different organisms. So that is the divergent evolution. From a single organism there is a formation of different groups of the organism, or we can say from a single species there is a formation of different type of the species. Number of species are formed from a single species, that is the divergent evolution. So Darwin's finches is the example of divergent evolution. Then next example in biogeographical evidence is the discontinuous distribution, okay. Now what is discontinuous distribution? So for that we have to study the theory of continents, okay, theory of continent. So one theory of continent is that it is believed that today's the continents which are present, okay, there are different continents, okay. So these different continents initially these are intact, okay, in present day these continents are separated. Okay, there is a large water bodies are present in between the different continents. Okay, there is a maybe Asia continent, Australia continent. Okay, so different types of the continents are present. So there is a distance or in between these continents there is a large water bodies, but it is believed that all these continents initially these are intact. Okay, so suppose this is a region, okay, where the some organisms are present into that region, but what happen if these continents get separated? So during the separation, okay, different types of the continents were formed. Okay, so these blue dots represent the organisms which are present together, okay, but when continents get separated, these organisms are also get separated, so there is a discontinuity. So how can these organisms, okay, come at these continents? Okay, how they reach there? Because in between these continents there is a large water bodies, okay, there is a mechanical barrier. So how these organisms can reach there? So it is believed that all the continents are in contact, and after the separation of these continents, these organisms are also get distributed into the specific region. Okay, so that is the discontinuous distribution. So example of discontinuous distribution is the magnolia, tulip and sassafras plants. These are the plants. These three plants found only in two regions in the world. Okay, that is the China and Eastern USA. Only found into the China and Eastern USA region. So it means that why these are found in two regions, that is China and Eastern USA. So it is believed that maybe China and Eastern USA would be formed from the same continent, and during the separation these two continents get separated, and due to the separation, okay, these plants, that is tulips, sassafras and magnolia also get separated. Okay, so that is why these are also only found into that two regions, that is China and Eastern USA. Now another one example of the discontinuous distribution is the elephants. In the world there are only two varieties of the elephants, that is the Indian elephants and the African elephants. Means elephants are only found into the India and Africa. Okay, but now present day you can also observe the elephants in different countries. Okay, but these are placed into the zoos, okay, which are taken from India and Africa region. So there are only two varieties, that is Indian elephant and African elephant. So it is a evidence that these organisms may be present or which are present only in a particular region. Okay. Then next one is lung fishes. These are the fishes, okay, which are evolved fishes which have a lungs. Okay. Normally fishes does not have lungs, they have a gills for respiration, but lung fishes have the lungs, which is a characteristics of the terrestrial organism. So these lung fishes are found only in a particular region. So the some example is Neoceratus lungfish is found only in the Australia region. Okay, in the world it is only found into the Australia. Then Lepidosiren, which is found only into the South America region. So that is a discontinuously distribution, there is a no link. Okay, that is why discontinuous distribution. How these organisms reach to that continents. Next one is the restricted distribution. Okay, third example of the biogeographical evidence is the restricted distribution. Means you can found that the organisms which are present only in some or particular region. Okay, that is example is marsupials. Marsupials means egg laying mammals. Generally mammals gives birth to the directly young ones, but marsupials are the mammals which gives the eggs, which lays the eggs, which are called as a marsupials. These marsupial only in one continent, these are found only in one continent, that is the Australia. Okay, one of the example of marsupial is the kangaroo. Okay, so that is which are found only into the Australia region, that is the restricted. Means these species is restricted in only that region or only in that continent. Okay, so that is why restricted distribution of the species. Next one is the fourth example is convergent evolution. Okay, it is opposite to that divergent evolution. Okay, so convergent evolution example placental mammals and marsupial. Okay, so placental mammals and marsupials example the mole from the placental mammals and the marsupial mole. These are two different groups, that is the mole which is a mammal and marsupial mammal mole. Okay, so this mole and marsupial mole shows a similar characteristics, that is similar in size, then their food habitat is also same and they look similar. So why these are similar, or why there is a similarity in between two different groups, that is mole and marsupial mole? It is because of due to the geographical condition, because they present into the same environment, into the same geographical area, and due to this their size is same, then their food habitat is same due to the geographical condition. That is the convergent. Convergent means there are different varieties, suppose these are different varieties, but which are living in a same geographical area. So what will happen, these organisms will show a common characteristics, that is the convergent evolution, convergence. And divergent evolution means there is a differences in between these groups. Okay, or from one group there is evolution of different species, that is the divergent evolution. Then another example is the mouse and marsupial mouse. These are also similar. Okay, their snout is also similar due to their food habitat. They grab the insects, okay, from the soil, so they look similar, that is mouse and marsupial mouse. So this is another example of the convergent evolution, that is mouse and the marsupial mouse. So here we completed the biogeographical evidence. Now the last evidence of theories of evolution is the biochemical, cytological and physiological evidences. Okay, so first one is the enzymes. So there are two enzymes, that is amylase and trypsin. Amylase is a carbohydrate digesting enzyme and trypsin is a protein digesting enzyme. These amylase and trypsin enzymes are called as a universal enzymes because these are present from sponges to the mammals. Okay, from the phylum sponges to the mammals. Mammals are included into the phylum Chordata, okay, which are the highly evolved group of the Chordata, that is the mammals. So from sponges, least evolved animals to the most evolved animal, that is the mammals, these two enzymes are present, that is amylase and trypsin. Okay, then so there is a link in between the sponges and the mammals because these animals shows the amylase and trypsin. Okay, all the animals in between the sponges and mammals shows these two enzymes. Then second one is the hormones. The one example, that is the thyroxine hormone, okay, which is secreted by thyroid gland in human beings. So this thyroxine, if it is injected into the tadpole of the frog, it triggers the metamorphosis process. So same this hormone is also functioning into the tadpole, okay, which is also functional into the higher animals. So there is a link in between these least evolved animals and most evolved animals. Okay, so this is another evidence. Then third one is blood and lymph. This blood and lymph in all vertebrates have the same function. Okay, vertebrates means the animals which have vertebral column. So blood and the lymph, function of the blood, you know that the function of the blood is to transport the gases, okay, oxygen and carbon dioxide to the cell, and their lymph is another one fluid which is present in our body. So the function of fluid is the defense mechanism. So same function, that is of the blood and lymph, is present in all the type of vertebrates. Okay, so this is another example. Then next one is the blood proteins. Okay, in our blood there are different types of the proteins. So in man, the man's proteins or the proteins which are found in the blood of man, which are closest to the chimpanzee and gorillas. Okay, means they also have same proteins which are found in the man's. Then the cow, goats and sheep have the same type of blood proteins, and cats and dogs also have the same types of the proteins. So there is a linkage in between these groups, that's why they share some characteristics. Okay, that's why there is a sharing of some characteristics. Then next one example is the blood group. Okay, the AB blood group in human or in between the human and apes, it is present, that is AB blood group. So in human and apes, AB blood group is common, but this AB blood group is not found into the monkeys. So it means that from the monkeys, human and apes are evolved. Okay, or apes and human are evolved from the same ancestor. Okay, and next one is the excretory substances. Okay, the tadpole is the larval stage of the frog and fishes. So tadpole and fishes secretes the ammonia. Okay, waste material is a ammonia, their excretory substance is a ammonia, that's why these are called as ammonotelic. So tadpole and fishes secrete the same type of excretory product, that is the ammonotelic. Okay, that is a ammonia. And the adult form of this tadpole, that is the frog, secretes the urea, that is why these are called ureotelic. But the larval stage of the frog shows the ammonotelic habitat of excretion. Okay, so it is believed that these amphibians may have evolved from fishes, that's why they share a character in their larval stage. Okay, that is excretory character. And last one in biochemical, cytological and physiological evidence is the similarities in the organelles and the protoplasm in all the organisms. We have seen the structural organization of the cells. So in different organism or eukaryotic organism shows the same type of the organelles, that is the endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi body, nucleus is present in all the eukaryotic organism. So there is a similarity in between all the organism with respect to of these different organelles and the protoplasm and cytoplasm of the organism. So here we completed the evidences of the evolution, all the 5 evidences of the evolution. Our next topic is the theories of the evolution. Okay, we will see the different theories of the evolution which are given by the different scientists. So first one is the Darwin's theory of natural selection. Second one is the Lamarck's theory or Lamarckism. Lamarck's theory of inheritance of the acquired characters. Third theory is mutation theory, which is given by Hugo de Vries. And fourth one is the modern theory, or which is called as a neo-Darwinism or the synthetic theory. So we will see one by one each and every theory. So first theory is the Darwin's theory of natural selection. Darwin's inspired by a scientist, that is Malthus. This Malthus proposed or published an essay on population, okay, in the paper. So Darwin basically is inspired by the scientist Malthus, okay, who published the essay on the population study. So on the basis of this, Darwin proposed its a theory, that is Darwin's theory of natural selection. So postulates, what are the postulates of Darwin's theory of natural selection? So the first one is, first postulate of Darwin's theory is population increase is a geometric. Okay, so the population increase is a geometric, or population increases in a geometric manner. Now geometric manner means simply, suppose we are writing 2 into 2 into 2 into 2, so it will become 2 into 2 4, 4 into 2 8, 8 into 2 it will become 16. So that is the geometric, means multiplication. So population increase is a geometric, okay, or in a geometric manner. So increase in population, there is a multiplication. So example, we can take an example of paramecium. Paramecium reproduces every 24 hours. Okay, it reproduces every 24 hours. So multiplication is a, or reproduction is a geometric, but all the organisms, okay, cannot survive. Okay. Next one is bacteria. Bacteria also reproduce every 20 minutes. Okay. Why there is a high rate of reproduction? Because there is a more chances of the organism which we produces. Okay. Organisms, the next possibility or the next organism can, the possibility of death is more. Okay, so that is why the rate of reproduction is higher in such a small organisms. Okay, so bacteria reproduce every 20 minutes. So that is the population increase in a geometric manner. Okay, that is in multiplication manner. Second postulate is the food and space is limited, but Darwin said that population increase is a geometric. Okay, but the food and the space is limited. So the food and space is not increasing, but the food increase in a arithmetic manner. Okay, arithmetic manner means simply 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2, it will become 8. Okay, so here it will become 16 because it is multiplied, and here it will become 8 because it is added. So food increases in arithmetic manner. So obviously there will be a fighting in between the population, in between the organism, and that is why third postulate is the struggle for existence in between the animals or in between the different organisms due to limited resources of food and due to limited space, because number of population is increasing a very large number in a geometric manner. So there will be a fighting, there will be a struggle for the resources of food, for the space. Okay, so that's why next postulate is the struggle for existence. So in the struggle for existence there are three types, that is interspecific existence, intraspecific, second one is interspecific struggle, and third one is the environmental struggle. Now intraspecific, intra means within. Okay, intra means within, means the within the species. Okay, within species means same species fights. Okay, the purpose may be for the food. Okay, in lion there is a fighting for the food. Lion or the male, that is lion, gets the food first and then the lioness. Okay, after the lion. So that is the struggle, that is the fighting in between the same species individual, that is the intraspecific struggle. Okay, then second one is interspecific. Interspecific means between two different species. Okay, which is called as a interspecific struggle. Okay, this interspecific struggle may be for the predation of the different organisms. Okay, predation is one of the example of this interspecific struggle. Okay, then third one is the environmental struggle. The environmental factors includes the temperature, rain, humidity. Okay, and organisms continuously struggles for the existence or fights with the environmental factors like the temperature. There is a changes in temperature, rain, humidity. Okay, so these organisms, different organisms struggles for the existence. So this is the third postulate, that is struggle for existence. Next one is variations in population. Okay, so there are two types of variations, which is continuous and another one is a discontinuous. Continuous variation is a slow and it is due to the recombination. Okay, Darwin observed that there is a variations in population. Okay, which are of two types, that is continuous variation and discontinuous variation. Continuous variation is a slow and it is due to the recombination process. Okay, recombination, we have studied the recombination into the cell division. Okay, in the meiosis, recombination takes place into the meiosis division or meiotic division. So due to the recombination there is a variation is produced, but the variation is a slow. Second one is discontinuous. Okay, it is not continuously, it is a suddenly, because it is a due to the mutation. That is why it is a very fast, because of it is due to mutation. Mutation means sudden changes in the gene. Okay, or in a DNA molecule. So this is the fourth one postulate, that is the variations in population. Next one important, that is natural selection and survival of fittest. Now Darwin explained that is nature selects the organisms or nature selects the particular species. Okay, but nature selection is according to the survival of fittest, means those organisms are fit for the survival in the nature. For those organisms only nature selects. Means these two things are interdependent. Means natural selection is done by on the basis of fittest, okay, and survival of fittest means those are fit which can survive, okay. That is why these two things are interdependent, okay. Means nature selects the only fittest, okay, and who are fit, those are selected by the nature. That is why these are two things are interdependent. And after the selection by the nature and after fittest, the new organism or the new species is evolved from the pre-existing species, okay. Next one is inheritance of the useful variations. Then what happens next? There is a inheritance of the useful variations. Inheritance means transfer of character from one generation to the next generation. So the inheritance of useful variations means the characters which are appear in later stage, and these are which are useful to that organism for the survival, okay. Those characters can inherit, okay. There is a inheritance of that characters into the next generation because these are useful for that generation also, and due to the inheritance of these characters there is a formation of a different species from the pre-existing species, okay. And last one leads to speciation. Speciation means that is the formation of a new species. So for the formation of new species it has to go through the natural selection, survival fittest, and there should be a inheritance of useful character or useful variation, and then lastly it leads to speciation means formation of the new species occurs, okay. So this is the theory of Darwin, that is Darwin's theory of natural selection.